All right. Welcome once again to Safari za Mabingwa. Yes, this is that platform that we sit down with some of our champions and we get to appreciate them. We give them their flowers. We celebrate them. We tell the world what they're doing, and we are at the forefront trying to give them their flowers while they're still alive. It's a habit that most of our sportsmen in Kenya, when they're alive, we don't do so much about it. Okay, we give them a bouquet of flowers at the airport and that's it. However, in this platform, we're trying to rework that model and we're trying to do better. We hope that pia wewe penye uko pia you're doing better. Ukutana nao mtaani, appreciate, unamwona sema, ule nula na kimbianga, then you mind your business. Msalimie na heshima nini, because they're putting the country on the map. They're actually marketing the country and they're marketing you. And it's also among the biggest sources of income that we are working with as a country. For this particular episode, we've been honored to have a sit down with the gentleman who put together a couple of systems that was somehow going to help the sports industry in the country. But katikati, Gen Z wakasema, alafu sasa tena tumerudi. So I want to sit down with him and find out what was working, what was not working, what was the plan, where were we going? Were we on the right trajectory? Ama tulikuwa tuna gamble? Because there's so much that we don't know. And so much that we assume we know, but we don't know. I'm speaking about Waziri. Yes, that is Ababu na Mwamba. Karibu sana. How are you?
Niko salama.
Baka umepiga mpaka Team Kenya bado?
I mean, we are all Team Kenya.
Okay.
We are all the 50 million plus of us.
Okay.
We are Team Kenya proudly.
All right. But you're well?
I'm good. I'm good, enjoying my sabbatical.
I've seen umenona.
Kunona, I don't know, but at least I can say I'm relaxed and feeling good.
You're glowing. You know,
enjoying my break.
Most of the politicians, when they are elected, wanakaa kidogo ama nominated, alafu unaona wanaanza kurust due to pressure. Unaona pressure, msema anaanza lose weight, nini ana realize, but you are the other way around. Is it because you have done it before? Ama is it because it's just who you are?
I mean, it's just a journey. And the journey of life has its moments.
Okay.
It can give you a moment to sit in a public office. It can give you a moment to sit in a private office.
Okay.
It can give you a moment to chill out in your private space.
Okay.
So it's all about taking everything in your stride and
right.
enjoying each of those moments along the journey of life. And I have mastered that. I also have the gift of goodbye. You know the gift of goodbye?
No.
The gift of goodbye is being able to say, I have had my time here.
Okay.
It is now time to move on. And you move on proudly and without any regrets. Without hangovers.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's called the gift of goodbye.
Utafuti closure. But now you know what I was thinking. Well, it's fine. We move on this direction.
Move on, yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You have been a minister for sports twice now?
Yes, I've had the privilege to serve my country in the decade of sports twice, under Kibaki during the coalition government, and again under the administration of President William Ruto. It's kind of a privilege.
Okay.
Yeah.
Between the Kibaki regime and the William Ruto regime, which one do you see you are in the right space to do better as a minister for sports? Which one is more easier to deal with? Was it then? Is it now?
I would say that every situation, every circumstance is unique. It has its own peculiarities. You would say that on both occasions, the time I had in office was perhaps not long enough to see the fruition of some of the measures you put in place. During my time in the Kibaki administration, for instance, I joined cabinet towards the tail end of the life of the coalition government.
Okay.
But I still had the opportunity to do some phenomenal things. And what comes to mind and what I'm most proud of is that I was able to get the Sports Act enacted. Forever, Kenya had been operating and managing or administering the sporting space without any law and without any policy.
Okay.
In the period I was in office during that time, I prioritized to put in place the Sports Act. So the Sports Act is actually my creation. And because I was also a member of parliament then, I was both a minister and a member of parliament. I had the privilege to appear in parliament myself
And defend it.
and move the motion
Okay.
for the enactment of the Sports Act. And I remember one of my last acts during the life of that parliament on January 15, 2013 is when we got the Sports Act enacted. And it has brought a lot of important clarity in the management of sports. And accompanying the Sports Act, we also got the sports policy to be enacted. Okay. That is a big achievement for me during that time. For this time, it has been more of putting in place measures to elevate sports to a level where it can be taken seriously. Because again, while sports is without a doubt the biggest export this country sends to the world and the best branding platform for Kenya, we haven't necessarily given it the stature it deserves, both in terms of financing, in terms of the seriousness with which we treat it. And so during this time, I have made effort to correct that and put in place certain things. Okay. Also to sort of institute certain measures that should have been instituted many years ago. For instance, I'm very proud that I was able to put in place within 1 year of coming to office.
In the Ruto regime?
In the Ruto regime.
Okay.
Kenya's first ever sports infrastructure master plan. A master plan to guide the country on how to develop infrastructure. And it is under that master plan that we are constructing the Talanta Sports City, which is the first international level stadium in Kenya since Moi constructed Nyayo and Kasarani 40 years ago. So for 40 years, we have just been sort of all over the place.
Yeah, not to go to my international stadiums zingine.
Come on, Obina. It's atrocious.
Okay.
And an insult to the intelligence of Kenyans. How we had reduced the stature of sporting facilities in this country. Now you have things like Wanguru International Stadium.
Yeah. Even Mambuleo Palace.
You have Kirigiti International Stadium in Kiambu. You have Jomo Kenyatta International Stadium, Mamboleo in Kisumu.
Yeah.
Now, Obina, the only international thing about those things, because even to call them stadiums sometimes is to insult stadia. The only international spaces. The only international thing is the word international in the name. But other than that, really. But on a serious note, we needed to do something. And we did it. We put in place an infrastructure master plan, which is really revolutionary, that even categorized what should be the standard of an international stadium, what should be the standard of a regional or county level stadium, and what should be the standard of what you are calling community grounds that people can use at that local level. And to demonstrate what an international stadium is. Okay. I spent time myself with a technical team to design the Talanta Sports City. It is a football-only stadium, the only one of its kind in this region. And in this region, I mean the Eastern Central Africa region. It is a 60,000 capacity seater, green stadium, all the modern, all the high-tech, all the tech-savvy capabilities are built in that stadium. I can't wait to see that stadium completed because it's going to take Kenya's sporting infrastructure to another level and set the standard. I see a lot of people getting excited by something that some neighbors have done in the neighborhood.
Just say Rwanda.
I want to tell you.
Just say Rwanda.
I want to tell you, by the time Talanta Sports City is completed, nobody in this region will be able to hold a candle to Talanta Sports City.
So that's your project.
I'm very proud that we were able to do that.
Okay.
Okay. And it is ongoing. But even as that goes on, we have also been able to put resources in a number of regional facilities to upgrade them. The Buhungus of this world, the Masinde Muliro, Kandui, and other places, revamping places like Ruringu in Nyeri, just to make sure that even as you do this international level stadium, you are also taking care of the regional spaces. We have also put significant resources in the 2 international stadia the country has had for the last 40 years. Okay. So Kasarani is closed, is undergoing mega renovations. Renovations are also going on to to Nyayo. So number one, I am very proud of what we've done in that infrastructure space. Number two, Obina, I inherited a crisis of monumental proportions when I was appointed minister 2 years ago. That crisis was the mess in the relationship between the country and international federations.
We had been banned.
Football was suspended.
Yeah, we had been suspended. Yeah.
Swimming was suspended.
Oh.
Athletics was on the verge of suspension.
The doping situation.
Because of the doping situation.
Okay.
Now, in a record 1 month, we were able to sort of take charge of that space. I met Mr. Gianni Infantino, the president of FIFA, and we were able to unlock the suspension on FIFA, bring back football. I engaged Lord Sebastian Coe, the president of the IFC, and even invited him to Kenya. He came to Kenya in January 2023. I arranged for him to meet President Ruto. We held very good meetings, and we struck a deal that saved Kenya from athletics being suspended or banned. And you know, athletics is really the bread and butter of Kenya's sporting heritage internationally. So if athletics had been banned, we wouldn't even have been at the Olympics this season, this Olympic season. We also engaged World Aquatics and got the suspension of Swimming Federation. And the swimming sport in this country had been in limbo for 7 years. We got that lifted, and we were able to get our swimmers to Paris.
What was the issue with the swimming? Because the last I remember in Akina Jason Danford, remember when I was young, then I was just Danford, well. They were doing very well. Yes. Then it disappeared. I've never heard of any other Kenyan
then
swimmer.
Then we ran into governance issues, which is one of the biggest challenges facing sports in this country. Governance in the sporting federations. And so I'm also very proud that that space of cleaning up the relationship between the country and international sporting space was sorted out. And because of that, we've been able to participate in international competitions like the Olympics. And we have even qualified a team to the FIFA World Cup for women for the first time in history. And now, third and final, Talanta Hela.
Yep, let's talk about it. First of all, let me just put it out there before we begin this part. I don't understand Talanta Hela. I don't understand how it operates.
Talanta Hela,
I just saw it happening. I was just like, okay. So, before tufike huko juu, nataka tu we break down pole pole. Talanta Hela ni nini? Ilikuwa inapanga kufanya nini na ikafika wapi? And even now that you're no longer in the sports space, is Mheshimiwa Murkomen gonna do the due diligence? Ama tena mambo itachemuka tena Murkomen sasa launch yake sasa Talanta Marakwet.
Talanta Ababu Forest. No, absolutely not. Okay. I have done first of all, Murkomen is such a fantastic friend, a colleague and a comrade, many respects. We even went to the same college for our postgraduate studies. So we are actually college mates. We did our master's degrees in law at the same school. So we have a long history together.
Okay.
If you had asked me to choose a successor among my colleagues in cabinet, I wouldn't have gone beyond Murkomen. I certainly would have picked Murkomen. Because I know his passion for sports. Okay. He's a sports person himself. He has tried to break my record at Bunge FC. I was the top. I still hold the record of the highest number of goals scored for Bunge FC. Murkomen came close, but not quite.
Oh, okay. I didn't know there was. But speaking of
I have no doubt that Murkomen is a good fit for sports. And I have no doubt that he's going to be a big success.
He'll get the work done.
Yeah, he will.
Just before we get Talanta Hela, tuko hapa kwa the new CS.
Yes.
So, let me test the waters.
Yes.
When you are called, were you called about, niaje, mambo imechemuka? Ama ulitumiwa SMS, was it an email? Ulikuwa wapi?
Sasa wewe Obina, unataka tu nifunue boss wangu hapa on live TV.
Si unasema tu mimi nilikuwa Paris, nimerelax na kula mojito, nimerelax na watu wangu.
No. I was at home with my family.
Oh, in Kenya?
Here. I have not been out of the country for quite a while.
Okay.
I don't travel that much, by the way.
Si wanasema ilikupata Paris?
No.
Baka hata muka exchange flight na Murkomen, ukamwambia ni aje? Hii na kama nani unarudi nayo?
By the way, for the record,
yes,
I was not even going to go to Paris. Yes.
They said you were distributing your people with the money for the nini. Sema mama alikuwa anaenda na flight ya athlete, mukeka athlete moja akae standby, mama akalie business.
No, that is hizo ni stories
za jaba.
Stories za jaba za X. The Olympics came at a time when we were in the midst of serious austerity measures.
Okay.
And I had even announced this when I took the team to the president for the flagging off.
Yeah.
And I announced and made it public that we are going to take a very lean team to Paris. I had made it very clear to the National Olympics Committee and the management team that was doing the oversight for the preparations for the Olympics. I had made it clear to them that we'll take a very lean team, and I informed them that I would be leading. I would be the symbol of the leanness by not traveling to Paris myself. So I was not going to go to Paris. Even if you were to ask the team that does the flight reservations, hotel reservations, because all those things are done way in advance. Because as you imagine, Olympics brings the whole world to a city. Yeah. So if you don't reserve hotels in good time, you just can't get space. If you don't reserve tickets, air tickets in good time, then the cost just escalates. They will tell you that they have no single reservation for Ababu na Mwamba, either for a flight or for a hotel. Okay. And by the way, talking about family, I travel a lot privately with my family. So I take my family pretty much all over the world, but from my pocket. I don't need a taxpayer to pay for a trip for me or my family to Paris or any part of the world. Okay. I go to these places. God has been gracious to me. I can afford to do it, Obina.
Okay, it's fine. We get the point.
But now let me come to an important question you posed.
Yes.
Whether I believe that my successor would continue with the kind of measures we have put in place, like the infrastructure master plan, Talanta Stadium, the Talanta Hela initiative. And I can tell you that I have no doubt that this will continue, because government is a rolling stone. Government is a continuum. What you do when you're in public office is not for you, it's not yours. It's for the public. It's in public interest. And when your time comes to exit, you hand over. And one of the things I did, and I believe I've done very well, is that I prepared fantastic handing over notes, over 60 pages of handing over notes that detail every single point where each of these projects are, progress, challenges, and what they need to be taken to the next level. That has been handed to my successor. Yesterday, I saw my successor post, we follow each other on social media. I saw my successor make a post on his Facebook handle, and he was proudly announcing that he has met some artists who are visiting from the US, and he has briefed them on 2 projects, okay, which are the flagship projects of the ministry. And he proudly mentioned Talanta Hela and Who's Next project. Talanta Hela and Who's Next are two sides of the same coin, as I will explain. So Murkomen is number one, a good fit for the ministry, no doubt in my mind whatsoever. And secondly, he has plugged into the momentum we have already built.
Okay. And
he can only now take it to the next level. And he has my total, unequivocal support in that respect. Okay. We consult a lot. We exchange ideas. If he needs my input in anything, I offer that without reservation.
Okay.
Talanta Hela.
What is it? Let's talk about it. And how much has been spent there so far? And how much has come in?
We have actually spent very little on Talanta Hela. Talanta Hela, Obina,
yeah,
is 2 simple Swahili words. Talanta, meaning talent. Hera, meaning money.
Yeah.
So it's about turning talents into livelihoods,
Okay.
turning talents into income, making your talent count, making your talent support you, your family, your community, and your country.
Okay.
And so when we conceived Talanta Hela, we wanted to consolidate that space of sports and the creatives in such a manner that sportsmen and women and creatives can earn well from their talents. Because for far too long, this country has really not honored our talented citizens. We celebrate them when they're winning medals for us, but we never really take time to wonder, besides the glamour of winning a medal on the track, what next? What happens after that? For many times, and we'll talk to legends like even Paul Targat, Dr. Paul Targat, the president of the National Olympics Committee. He'll tell you previously you'd win a medal at the Olympics, you land at JKA, they give you some sip of mursik, they put some garland around your neck, then you jump into a matatu and go home.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that is how bad it has been previously. You saw the other day, we introduced changes. Number one, if you break a world record. When Faith broke her first world record, Faith Kipyegon, last year, she arrived here, 5 million shillings, 3-bedroom house, never seen before. We raised the scale of rewards to our world beaters because we have treated them poorly before. So for the first time ever, you can go at a world record, aware that I break this world record, 5 million is in the bank, and a 3-bedroom house is ready for me. We did that with Faith Kipyegon. Okay? We also revised, in fact, the entire reward scheme. I completely turned it upside down. Previously, you won an Olympics medal, and you got home and you were given 750,000 Kenya shillings. I tripled that. Actually, we raised that also to 5 million. Okay? We raised the reward for silver medal. We raised the reward for bronze medal. We revised the rewards for participation so that even when you're in Kenya, you are training to go for the competition and you are out of the country and participating in the competition. Previously, you'll be paid like, I think it was $75. We raised that to $300 per day while you are in competition. That is an allowance per day to cover your training period. So we have also revolutionized the space of rewards. And we also adopted a system where we can start honoring our sportsmen and women and creatives through national honors. Kipyegon has been given a national honor. He was given a national honor during Mashujaa Day last year. Okay? People like Eliud Kipchoge have been given honors. We renamed the former Kericho Green Stadium. We renamed it after the first Kenyan to win an Olympics medal, Wilson Kiprugut Chumo. That stadium is now called Wilson Kiprugut Chumo Stadium. To send a message that even in terms of honoring the memory of our great athletes, sportsmen and women, we should talk the talk and walk the walk.
Does Faith still live in the house? The 3-bedroom? She still got it?
Pardon?
The 3-bedroom that she was given, she still has it?
It is her house. Where would it go? It is her house.
Are you informed that Kiptum's wife was already kicked out of that crib?
I am not aware of that. And if that has happened, that would be really, really tragic. Because let me tell you, Obina, and when you manage young people, you develop affection for them. Kiptum was like a son to me. I was devastated when we lost Kiptum in such terrible circumstances. I have no doubt that if we had not lost Kiptum, a gold medal in the marathon at the Olympics was guaranteed. Absolutely guaranteed. And I went out of my way, both as a minister and as a human being, to stand with the family of Kiptum in that difficult moment. And not just Kiptum, even the family of his coach, Hakizimana. Because 2 days before we buried Kiptum, I traveled to Rwanda myself to lay to rest his coach. and to deliver support, 5 million shillings support to his widow and his family. I went there to say, I mean, even President Kagame called me because he was really touched by that gesture, that I actually took time to go, to spend time with the family, to lay the coach to rest, and then we came to lay Kiptum to rest. So the Kiptum situation was very difficult. And if anybody does anything to undermine the honor, the respect of Kiptum's family, that would be really tragic.
Yeah, so there's
tragic.
There's a rumor that the wife has been kicked out of the...
Kicked out by who?
Of the crib.
By
The relatives.
Strangers,
The relatives.
By Kiptum's relatives?
Yeah, by the relatives, and also now she's really struggling.
I'm not aware of that, but it's something I would look into.
The CS is your
even
friend?
In a personal sense.
Yeah, please do so.
I will.
So that we can also confirm that she's fine. And,
but Obina,
yeah,
I'm making a commitment.
Okay.
Anything that touches Kelvin Kiptum's family, for me, it's personal.
Okay.
And good thing that my good friend and brother Kipchumba, that is also his home county.
Yeah.
Elgeyo Marakwet.
Yeah.
So besides being the Minister for Sports, I believe this is a matter in which you take very personal interest in. Okay. So certainly after this show, I am on the phone with Waziri Murkomen. Nimwambie yuko maneno huko. Angalia hiyo maneno so that we can sort out and protect the family, the widow and two amazing children.
Okay.
But there's something you asked to be now. I don't want us to lose track of it.
Okay.
Kenyans have this tendency to lay responsibility on government for everything.
Yep.
So there is a problem with kit. There's a problem with ceremonial kit. The minister must say, what happened with this ceremonial kit?
Mulishonea watu vitenge. Lakini.
We'll come there.
We'll come there. Okay, haya. Hapo kwa vitenge nimekumbuka. Okay.
Tutaenda huko kwa maleso.
Tutaenda kwa maleso. Mogi yo. Zile ziko za drama festival. Okay, it's fine. We will come to that.